Happy Monday. I hope everybody's week is off to a great start. I just wanted to jump on here real quick. We didn't have church at Grimes Chapel yesterday. So many of our members were still without electricity. Hopefully that will be restored for them very soon. I know that the linemen are working hard to try to get everybody back up and going. But we just gave the members yesterday the day to do storm cleanup and to not to have to worry about trying to come to church without showering and different things like that. So we as a family decided very last minute to take the day, or to take the afternoon and take the kids to Six Flags for the day. And so when we got there, there's a new ride there for 2020, and the name of it is Pandemonium. My first thought when I saw this ride was, what a name for a brand new ride for 2020. If you haven't seen the ride or seen pictures of it, it's a very long like metal pole, and there's a big huge circle, and all the seats face out, and then when you get in it, it swings back and forth just like a pendulum, and it swings you way up. It doesn't flip you, but it swings you way up, and then it spins the entire time. So you might be facing the sky going up and then coming back down, and then you may spin around and face the ground while you're going down or while you're going up. It pretty much rotates the entire time. We were in line for this ride, and my thought process was, I do not want to ride this. I'm all about taking adventures with the kids and doing fun things, but sometimes with the new stuff when I don't know what to expect, and I'm like that in life too. I don't like the unexpected. So I was kind of nervous in line. And so the techs there working the ride, you could hear it whenever we were in line. They were constantly saying not to pull down on your shoulder restraints, that they would count down and that they would come down automatically. And so the whole way in the line, I'm like, I don't really want to ride this. And the kids were like, yeah, Mom, come on, you have to. And so I get in my seat, and I'm extremely nervous. And the attendant says, arms up, shoulder restraints coming down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They come down, they lock in place. And wouldn't you know that somebody pulled down on their shoulder restraints before they came down by themselves, and so they had to release everybody. We had to get off of the ride and stand at the exit and wait for them to reset it and watch it run empty one time, just to make sure that everything was like it was supposed to be. And the anxiety of waiting over there at that exit and watching that thing go empty, I was like, y'all, I do not know if I can get back on it. I was like, I got on it one time, it didn't work, I had to get off. I was like, I don't know if I'm getting back on. But there's not much that my kids can't talk me into. And so I did get back on it. And nobody pulled down on their shoulder restraints this time, thankfully. And so the attendant came through, and 3 times, y'all. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Check to make sure that our restraints were in place and that our seatbelts were buckled. And my daughter Alexis, she said, "See, Mom," she was like, she said they checked 3 times. She was like, "You're good." I said, "You don't understand." I said, "That doesn't work for me." I said, "I want to be checked 1 time and that to be good enough. I don't need them to feel like they need to triple check me to make sure that this ride is going to hold me in." So I was sitting there, very anxious, just kind of had my head to the side, had my eyes closed. The ride started. It was perfectly fun. Just like most things my kids try to talk me into. Once I do it, I love it. It's just that fear of the unknown. I definitely ride it again when I go. I, recommend riding it. If you go to Six Flags, if you like that kind of thing, it was a lot of fun. But I got to thinking on the way home about Pandemonium and about 2020 and all the things that we are experiencing. And so I asked Jonathan, because I was driving, so I asked him to look up what the word actually meant. And so he did, and so we wrote it down. And the definition of pandemonium is a wild uproar, unrestrained disorder, or chaos, which makes perfect sense. But then there's another definition behind it, is the abode of all the demons. So from the Greek term of pandemonium, pan means all, and demonium actually really does mean demons. And so when you look at it that way and you compare it to this year, there's been so much this year. So there's been, obviously COVID-19. There's been several storms here in the South where we live. There was a really, traumatic tornado that came through in April in the area where I work. There's been hurricane damage all over. we have, as a family, been dealing with my mother-in-law's health issues. I mean, everybody's always dealing with something, but right now, as a nation and as a world, we're dealing with a lot of stuff together on top of the personal stuff that we're dealing with. And so, anyway, I got to thinking about, all of the demons, and, they're all around us, and they're whispering in our ears, and they're trying to cause chaos and trying to cause different problems. And I was thinking about that poor girl that come through and check 3 times to make sure that I was buckled in, and she was making sure that I was not going to fall out of that ride and I was not going to die. And I'm very thankful that she did that, because I was very nervous at that time. But I got to thinking, God checks on us continuously. And without him checking on us, the pandemonium of 2020 and of the world could essentially just overtake us. That's why it's so important to stay in his word and to stay true to him. This year, with everything going on, we've got a huge election tomorrow, which the only thing that I will say about that, the most political thing that you'll ever hear me say is pray for God's guidance and vote for who you feel led to vote for based on your values. And that's all that you can ask anybody to do. And then that's all that I'll say about that. Either way, however it goes tomorrow, God already knows. He knew whenever he created this earth, and he's going to take care of us. That's all part of the check. He checked off every checklist of caring about us whenever he created this earth. So, there's a lot of people, Christians and non-Christians, that are nervous about the election results tomorrow. But we just have to have faith that God is going to take care of us. We have to have faith that he's going to take care of this pandemic and hopefully bring us out of it soon, because I think we're all to the point now to where we're just really, really praying. It's like, do you have to have a mask at Thanksgiving? Do you have to cancel Christmas? Different things like that. It's that, like when I was in line for that ride, it was the anticipation of what was going to happen on that ride that made me so anxious yesterday. And a lot of times, then once I got on it, it was perfectly fine. And a lot of times the anticipation of what's going on in our lives makes us very anxious, no matter what it is, no matter whether it's pandemic or election or finances or relationship problems or health problems or, anything like that. It makes us anxious. But when you're on the other side of it, it usually turns out fine. And if we turn to God, it's always going to turn out fine. Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for the good of those that love God and are called according to his purpose. So if you love God and you stay connected to him, it's all going to be okay. So just in the pandemonium of the times that we're in right now, I just encourage you to seek God, seek out your friendships, seek out your family, check on the people that you love, let them know that you care about them, because sometimes Satan whispers in our ear that nobody cares, and so it's important to check on your people. And just most importantly, just stay connected through God's word and through prayer, and just seek his guidance in everything we do. So that's all. I was just going to share about my little anxiety and line yesterday, and then kind of how God spoke to me through a Six Flags ride on a Sunday afternoon. So, Grimes Chapel people, we were scheduled to have our socially distanced shoebox packing party this past Sunday. So since we did not have it on Sunday, we are going to have church on Wednesday night. I think Jonathan's going to do a small, short devotion. And then we'll be doing shoe boxes. Anybody that wants to, we'll go back one family at a time to the room that I have all the stuff set up in, and we'll pack the boxes there, and then we'll carry them all out front and then go from there. So if you don't normally come on Wednesday nights, but you want to be involved in the shoebox packing, bring your kids and let them be involved as a family, and we'll look forward to seeing y'all then. Love y'all. Take care. Let us know if you need anything, and see you Wednesday. Bye.